Hey guys, this is Ryan with Mama on Mission, and today I'm bringing you the next installment of our curriculum choices for the 2020-2021 school year. This is hosted by myself and Ingrid over at the Ingrid Chronicles, and this is a day late. I'm sorry, I was on a fishing trip that got extended an extra day, so that kind of cut into my filming schedule. But nevertheless, here we are. I watched Ingrid's video. I saw that she has a really cool curriculum that she's going to be using, that she's used, I think, for the last 2 years. So be sure to check out her channel down below and check out the playlist to see if anyone else maybe adds to this playlist. And you can also see all of our other curriculum choices. But this week it is history that we are talking about. So last year and for the last 3 years, I have used Story of the World. The first year we did Story of the World Volume 2. The reason we started with Volume 2 is because our co-op started on that volume. We joined our co-op when my son was in kindergarten, and they did Volume 1 that year, but it was for first grade and up, so my son missed out on that. So we picked up on Volume 2 his first grade year, and then did 3 his second grade year, did 4 last year when he was in 3rd grade. So we are due to start back at Volume 1, and so we are going to keep reading it. This is what Story of the World looks like. If you are not familiar with it, it is more of a storytelling approach. So this is, yes, the teacher's reading, the teacher would read out of this, but it is not written like a textbook. It is very much in story format, hence the title Story of the World. So this is Volume 4 that we are actually still finishing up the very end of. We got a little bit behind on history this year, but we will finish it by the end of the summer. It also comes with an activity guide. So it has for each week a list of literature choices that you can choose from to read, read alouds or picture books, or have your kids read by themselves, both fiction and nonfiction titles that relate to whatever the chapter was about. There are also different crafts you can do. There are outlines, there are maps, there are all sorts of things that you could do. Acting, cooking, everything you think of. So for the past 3 years we have done that. We've used the activity guide, and we have either read out of this book or listened to the MP3 of it. And next year we will continue on with this. We will do Volume 1, but we will only be listening to it. We are not going to be doing the instruction or the activity guide. We will not be doing any of the maps and any of the fun stuff. This will just simply be part of our morning basket, where we will listen to it and enjoy it. But I'm kind of taking a different approach next year. So if you watched my what we're using for Bible next year, I kind of let the cat out of the bag and let you know that we are switching over to Sunlight for our core. So for Sunlight, they consider core history, language arts, and Bible. So we will be using Sunlight Core B. So here is level B for you. And I'll be using this for my, it will be 2nd and 4th graders next year. And so it depends on where you look. Some places you'll see this is for 7 to 9-year-olds. Some places it will say 2nd and 3rd grade-ish level. It just depends, but I'm gonna go ahead and use it for my 2nd and 4th grader. So my 4th grader might be a little old for this, but I still think he'll get a lot out of it. I don't think it will be too immature at all. And we can always add stuff in if we feel like we need to. So so the Core B or Level B is what they call Intro to World History, year 1 of 2. So next year, if we continue on with this, we would do year 2 of 2 of Intro to World History. And the reason why we switched, there was nothing wrong with Story of the World. Like I said, we're still going to use it. I enjoyed it, but I just wanted something with more reading. I wanted something where we just got more into good books, which Story of the World had, like I said, those literature suggestions. But I like how this just has it laid all out for you, and it is literature based. So it's not read these extra books if you have time. It's the books are what is teaching you. So included in this, there are maps, there are timelines, there are discussion questions for everything that we read. There are discussion guides. There are vocabulary words. And then there's always, obviously, the Bible and literature still included in there too. And so this will start off with just a culture study. So just discussing different cultures, their religions, their housing, their way of life, all of that good stuff. And then we'll move on to archaeology and how we study ancient cultures, how we know things that happened long ago. And then it will start back at creation and go through ancient Egypt, and then it just kind of continues on chronologically. So just to name a few, there's lots of different things we'll be studying, but just to name a few, there are the Hittites, the Old Testament people, Spartans, Babylon, Persians, China, Punic Wars, Rome, Christians, and many more. And then we'll end up, I think, in the Byzantine Empire at the end of the year next year. And then history part, Intro to World History part 2 will pick up there and then continue on through modern times. So the core books that they will use to teach this, and I don't have these purchased yet, so I'll insert pictures here. They will use the Usborne Book of World History, which has lots of good pictures and information in it. They will also use A Child's History of the World, which does not have illustrations and stuff in it, but I hear it is jam-packed of good stuff to read. And then we'll also use the Usborne Time Traveler book, which I have not looked at yet. And then, in addition to those core books, intertwined throughout the entire year are a bunch of other read-alouds, some fiction, some nonfiction. There will be biographies, there'll be poetry, just a little bit of everything, but it will all revolve around whatever it is we are learning. And then we will also be doing the readers. So we'll do read-alouds plus reading for history. And the read-alouds for level B or core B kind of intertwine with what we're learning in history, but not a lot, just kind of loosely. They're mostly just really good literature, and I love good literature. And then the readers also loosely tie into, so I will get I'll try to get them used, but if not, I'll buy them from Sunlight. The readers for 2nd grade and the readers for 4th grade, and those are just the independent readers that my kiddos will read, and they are just like the history books we're reading, they're fiction and nonfiction. They'll just kind of go back and forth. Like I saw, my 2nd grade will be reading about Pompeii and different things like that. And then there is also geography laced throughout this. So as I mentioned, there is a big map in here, or several maps, I guess. I don't know if you'll be able to see this. This is huge. There you go. There's some of the maps, and they're kind of that wipe off material, so we can use dry erase markers and locate things, or wet erase markers. So they'll have geography laced throughout. It'll tell you, find such and such on the map. This is where this story takes place. Find it on the map. But also, so for last year, we started Galloping the Globe. And we have loved this. This is a very, just kind of, I mean, it's geography, but it has a little bit of everything intertwined in there. Even on the cover, it says geography, Bible, history, science, literature, vocab, maps and flags, reproducibles, recipes, puzzles, games, crafts. And we love it. It says it's for kindergarten through 4th grade. So we will probably continue this even through the summer and into next school year, even though we'll be getting lots of good geography with our Sunlight Core B. I still want to continue this because we're really enjoying it, and it's very go at your own pace. It's not scheduled out. It's not very rigid. It's just lots of good, here are some ideas on how to study this country, and pick what you want and go with it. So for example, we just finished up Germany, And so when they introduce a country, they will show you there's like a little blurb about the country. Then it'll give you a section of people and history from that country. And it even gives you book suggestions. So we would check out a book from the library about a person from that country or about a big historical event from that country. Obviously with Germany, there was a lot there to choose from. And then when COVID hit, we tended to watch more YouTube videos if we couldn't find a digital book to borrow about that topic. And then it gives you a blank map. And then I would have my kids fill in the capital city, other major cities where some rivers, mountains, all that kind of stuff are. And then down here, population, city, or capital city, religion, type of government, currency, language, and what are the people called. So I'd go through and have them answer that. And we're just going to keep this format going, just kind of this go at your own pace type thing. Probably move it over to our morning basket time. And then it gives you a list of general reference books. So we would spend one of our days just studying actual facts about the country with a reference book, with an encyclopedia, with websites, with YouTube, whatever we find. And then it gives you a list of literature suggestions. So we would always try to find at least one book that was written by someone from that country. So again, with Germany, it was pretty easy to pick because actually it was pretty hard to pick because there were so many different options. So I just pulled out my giant Brothers Grimm fairy tale book, and we read, I can't remember which one we picked, but we read a fairy tale from Germany from there, or from that book. And then it even gives you a little science section. So usually it is something talking about an animal that is found in that region. So when we did China, we talked about panda bears, and we found YouTube videos, and we found books and everything else. So even though this isn't our science curriculum, we got some science in there. And then it has a list of vocabulary words that usually they are English words that we kind of got from that country, or that were, kind of loosely related to that country. So for Germany, you have delicatessen, hamburger, pretzel, sauerkraut, kindergarten, and sausage. So then we look at the word and see how we got that from Germany. And then there are music, art, and different projects, which we didn't do those as often. Occasionally we would, but then we always did there's always a page that has the flag. And so I think I took it out of here to make a copy of it. Let me find a different one. So we would always print off the flag. Here's a flag of Spain. We would always print off the flag and have them color it while I read one of the literature suggestions written by someone from that country. So this is just a really cool way to do geography. There's also, they tie it into Bible even. They have you read certain Bible verses and stuff, which we didn't do that as much just because we have a whole lot of Bible stuff that we use. So there wasn't really time for more of that. But it is there if you want it. It is a very good, strong geography curriculum, and we will continue using it, but just loosely kind of in our morning basket. But we will be using Sunlight Core B for history this year. So let me know down below if you've ever used Core B from Sunlight, or what you will be using next year for history or geography if you already know. And I thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and I will talk to you next time. Bye.